Good day, everyone across North America. This is John Garmendi with Sony's Professional Solutions of America, welcoming you to a special Tech Tuesday AV Solutions webinar. I hope everyone is enjoying some spectacular fall weather. And as a reminder, these webinars were started in response to the COVID crisis so that our customers, resellers, integrators, and consultants can stay informed and up to date on Sony's latest products and solutions. In today's webinar entitled Meet Our Newest 3 LCD Laser Projector, you'll get an exclusive first look unboxing at our latest 8,000 lumen projector. You'll hear about how our new projectors combine brightness with efficiency, installation flexibility, and advanced operational capabilities, and learn about the advanced features that make these projectors ideal for large classrooms, meeting rooms, auditoriums, exhibitions, and sports simulators. As in previous webinars, there'll be an opportunity for Q&A, so please submit your questions via the in-event question panel. I'll post links to the information referred to during the webinar in the chat panel. And we'll also post a link to our YouTube playlist where you can view all of our archived Tech Tuesday webinars. Joining me today will be Drew Buttress, Senior Product Manager for Projectors and Imaging Solutions, Karim Springer, Sales Support Engineer for Sony's B2B Group Eastern Zone, and Terrence Boyd, Senior Business Manager for our Professional Projection Systems. I'll turn it over to Terrence now and join you all back here for Q&A.
Thank you, John. I appreciate having the opportunity today to talk to everyone. Really excited as we introduce, actually as of yesterday, we introduced our brand new 3 LCD mid-range interchangeable lens projection system, the all-new VPL-FHZ85. We're excited today to spend the next 30 minutes or so talking a little bit about what this product is and where it fits in our current laser lineup. I'm really excited to kind of talk a little bit about that. But you know what? Before we get started, I'd like to just kind of share with everyone just a quick introductory video about our brand new VPL-FHZ85. All right, so that was a quick look at the all-new VPL-FHZ85 series mid-range projector. So again, we're really excited to kind of take the time to go through and talk about that. You know, as we developed this new projection system and delivered to the market, we were really looking at some different areas where this falls into our laser lineup. And as we look at our laser lineup, we saw some opportunities where we could to where some different brightness ranges where we could perform and go after that we didn't have before. So with this new system, we've got two different flavors actually of this new VPL FHZ85 series. There is the FHZ85, which is our 8,000 lumen center brightness, 7,300 lumen ANSI brightness model, and then there's the slightly lower brightness model, the FHZ80, which is our 6,500 center brightness lumen or 6,000 ANSI lumen model. So those are the two new models that you see highlighted there in the blue square. As you know, knowing or looking at our laser lineup, there is the entry level 5,000 lumen WXGA, the VPL CWZ10 series projector that we have today. And then about 9 months ago, we introduced another extremely popular 3LCD option, which was our VPL-PHZ50, the 5,000 lumen, and the VPL-PHZ60, 6,000 lumen. These are the fixed lens, ultra compact options that we have. And then stepping into that interchangeable lens category, we now have the FHZ80 and the FHZ85, which we're talking about today. And as well, our large venue series, the VPL-FHZ91, the 101, and the 131L series 3LCD projectors. And then stepping up into our 4K SXRD is our flagship VPL-GTZ380. So as we take a closer look here, and what applications this particular system, this series, the new series fits into, it really goes after our corporate and education type applications for mid-size auditoriums and conference rooms and classrooms as well as entertainment in terms of museums and art galleries and different exhibitions, public spaces, digital signage, what have you. And we're going to spend a little bit more time here as we talk a little bit more. And actually, we're getting ready to queue up we're going to debut an unboxing video. And we're really excited to kind of share this with you guys because I had an opportunity about a week and a half ago or so to kind of sit down with one of our sales support engineers, Karim Springer, and to really kind of go through and kick this thing around, play with it a little bit, and see what this is all about. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over, and we're going to spend the next few minutes and watch this. And after that, we'll kind of talk a little bit more, and I'll see you then. Thank you for joining us today. We're glad to have you here as we take a look at, for the very first time, our brand new mid-range 3LCD Pro projection model that we're introducing this winter. And it is the VPL-FHZ85 series. This particular series, we're ecstatic to be able to kind of spend some time with it this afternoon, and we're excited to have you here as part of the conversation, as part of this walkthrough. We're going to get up and close and personal with it, and as a matter of fact, as we kind of kick the tires and get a first look at it, this is the very first time we've had a chance to play with this. We also have with us today one of our sales support engineers, Karim Springer. Hey, Karim.
Thank you, Terrence. I'm Karim Springer, sales support engineer, and I provide post-sales and pre-sale support for B2B products and solutions. Today, we're going to be talking about the FHZ85 series projector.
Thanks, Karim. So again, as we said, we're going to spend probably the next 10 minutes or so, 10 to 15 minutes, kind of going through, and I'll ask Karim a few questions about this new system, and hopefully we all learn a little bit as we spend the next few minutes here. So again, we're really excited to introduce this to the market. It is our most advanced and smallest and lightest and most advanced mid-range projection system that we've introduced to date. So with that, Karim, can you tell us a little bit about this new VPL-FHZ85? Love to hear your take on it.
Absolutely. Actually, I'm going to sit there and do a hands-on and walk you through it. As you can see here, it has a standard lens that does a throw ratio of 1.39 all the way up to 2.2 and provides a 70% vertical lens shift. I'm just going to flip it over to the right side here, and you'll notice that it has all the traditional inputs and outputs that I'll go over right now. It has the input and output for audio, as well as a LAN port for network communication, network port for HD-Base-T, 2 DVI ports you can take advantage of, as well as a couple of RGB ports, USB, power dongle for external devices if you want to power like an Apple device or Chromecast for mirroring, as well as an HDMI input. You'll notice also on this side there is a filter. You can take advantage of the robo filter. I'll go into details a little bit later on. With that, to the opposite side here, you'll notice that you have all your buttons for menu, enter, focus, zoom, and shift as well. The great things about this projector, Terrence, is the ability when the projector is off to have auto power on, as well as auto power input select. What does that mean? I have my laptop over here. I connect it up to the projector with the projector being off. The projector will actually power up. And if it's connected to either my DVI port or my HDMI port, it will actually do auto input select, where it will actually go to that particular input.
That sounds great. That's amazing. I mean, there's a lot of reasons to be excited about the brand new 3LCD mid-range series, the VPL-FHZ85. So, one of the things now that I kind of wanted to go into is, for those of you who know the Sony products, especially the Sony projectors, there's a lot of proprietary type technologies that we include. We offer a lot of innovative features that add value to everyone's workflow and provides ease of use for any operator. So for those of you today who might not be familiar, one of those exclusive settings is the intelligent settings feature. I kind of want to talk a little bit about the intelligent settings, and I'm going to let Karim kind of talk a little bit about that. But I think for this particular model, for the new VPL-FHZ85 series, we even took that one step further. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Absolutely, but let me start from the beginning of intelligent settings with version 1. Intelligent settings version 1 changed the whole class of projectors. It's a Sony proprietary feature which allows you to optimize your projector based on the environment that it's in. In version 2, we added the ability to sit there and compensate for brightness within the room. In version 3 now, we not only compensate for brightness, but we also compensate for any type of ambient light coming into the room. Just to give an example, I have this in a meeting room. The meeting room have a lot of ambient light coming in. If I was to sit there and put it into intelligent settings version 3, the projector will actually automatically adjust the brightness level of the output based on the ambient light coming in, providing for more colors and detailed pictures being produced. This eliminates any factor of any type of pictures being washed out.
That's amazing. And you know, at Sony, we're constantly working to make our projection systems smarter and smarter, making these decisions on the fly and being able to kind of correct based on the environment and fine-tune adjustments and whatnot. And I think features like that with the Intelligent Settings version 3 kind of really helps to maximize and optimize that performance that way. So that's fantastic. I think another area that we want to kind of talk a little bit about is is reality creation. Again, reality creation is another one of those innovative ways Sony has worked to help enhance the overall image quality to deliver maximum picture performance. Can you talk to us a little bit about reality creation and how it's used in this system? And actually, there's a new reality, what's it called?
Reality text.
Reality text.
Reality creation, how it works, it takes the original picture, analyzes every frame and every pixel, and creates a more detailed picture at the end. With reality text, we took that whole process, and just to give an example, if you're using this projector to display any type of PowerPoint, a lot of times, you know, if an individual is sitting in the back of the room, they can't clearly read the text that's being seen. By enabling reality text, you're capable of actually enhancing those texts and lines within that PowerPoint to actually have a more detailed picture for all the viewers. This is especially useful for individuals that have visual impairments.
That's great. You know, and as we continue to push our lineup of business and education projectors, especially with the introduction of the new VPL-FHZ85, you know, again, as I mentioned earlier, we're striving to make these systems smarter and smarter. And, you know, there's a couple of other key functions I think that are really important to talk about, a little bit about. And one of them is the ambiance light sensor, and the other one is Bright View. Can you talk to us a little bit about what that ambiance light sensor does and also what Bright View does?
Absolutely. Well, if you look at the front of the projector, there's a sensor in the front of the projector. That sensor allows for the projector actually analyze any type of ambient light that's coming into the room. Based on the ambient light that's coming into the room, again, the projector will automatically adjust based on that ambient light, again, to produce a better, more detailed picture at the end. So your colors are going to be dead on. Now, Bright View gives you the ability of adjusting the brightness level automatically. So all those features, there's no need for a user to actually manually make these adjustments. The projector, once you enable those features, will actually do it on its own. I see.
And I think that Bright View feature was something that we first introduced on our ultra compact series, the VPL-FHZ60 and the PHZ50. So we've heard a lot of great things about that Bright View and its ability to kind of enhance the viewing experience, especially in ambient lit environments. So that's great to hear. You know, I think I want to talk a little bit about you know, being able to extend the life of these types of systems. And there's a couple of areas we're going to kind of talk a little bit about. One of them is that I think it's no big secret that cooler running systems tend to help extend the longevity of any projection system, especially if they're ceiling mounted in different applications and whatnot. Can you talk to us a little bit about what the cooling system is like in this new VPL-FHZ85?
That's called a fine air cooling control system. That, according to the laser output setting, will adjust the speed of the fan. By adjusting the speed of the fan, it will compensate for any type of acoustic noise being produced out of the projector.
And I think, you know, with one of those features, I think gives you the ability to really kind of quiet the projector down as well. I think, right? Is the variable noise control?
Variable noise reduction. And how that works, it will actually, based on your room environment, whether you have this in the meeting room or conference room, you really don't want that noisy projector in the room. So you can actually adjust it, and it will drop it all the way down to a certain decibel level. Like, for example, meeting room will drop all the way down to 26 decibels at the mid. And if you need it to go all the way up, based on the speed of the fan, it will go all the way up to 38 decibels.
I see. So that's pretty cool, because I think there's one thing that is nothing more distracting in a quiet room when you're trying to focus on what's being seen on the screen is to be able to hear that fan buzz, you know, right next to your head or whatever. So that's really good to hear. You know, I think another area that is a constant struggle for AV teams and end users alike is the battling of dust, right? So can you talk to us a little bit about the filter system, or what are the different systems in here that help users to manage dust and prevent dust from getting in?
Absolutely. Within the projector, there's a sealed laser light source. So before it hits any of the mirrors, the blue, green, or red mirror inside, that sealed compartment allows for you to sit there and prevent any type of dust getting into that laser light source. This eliminates any type of reduced brightness due to dust accumulation.
I see. And then there was something else with the filter system. I know it's conveniently located on the side, but what else does this system do? There was something, we were talking about it earlier this morning when we were kind of waiting for this projector to come in. I know we were excited to get that in the back door, but you mentioned something that was like RoboCop or something like that. What's it called?
Well, that's my greatest feature that I like to talk about. I'm just going to go ahead and turn this projector to the side just to demonstrate it. You'll notice that there's a filter over here. So you have this installed. One of the great things about a Sony projector is the ability of having it to be maintenance free. Every 100 hours, there's a solenoid inside the projector that will hit the filter, knock off any dust that's accumulated over time. Now, what if the projector is on? Would you hear the solenoid go off? No. The projector will actually wait until it's in a sleep mode or standby mode and then initiate that solenoid to knock the dust off of the filter.
Gotcha. And you called that, what was it?
Robo cleaning filter.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
Not RoboCop.
Right, no, RoboCop. I'm getting my stuff mixed up here. All right, so that's great. Because, I mean, that's a huge concern, you know, obviously, again, to extend the longevity of our systems, to be able to include those type of features, it will help immensely, I'm sure. So let's talk a little bit about the design of this, the new VPL-FHZ85. You know, of course, we have the black one here, and this is also going to be available in the white as well. But it's really a slick looking system. Can you talk a little bit about the style and the design?
Yeah, I'm just going to come over here again and just pick it up. Another thing I like about this projector is it's lightweight. I can move around by myself. There's no need of having two individuals sit there and mount this guy up. In addition to that, it's a sleek blending design. You'll see that the surface on top is smooth. Access to the inputs is accessible. And in my opinion, it will blend in with any type of environment that you may have, whether it's a meeting room, conference room, or higher education.
And, you know, one thing that's really attractive about it is the fact that it just, especially in art galleries and exhibits and public spaces and things like that, you know, I think a design like that just really helps it to blend in and disappear. It's almost like it's camouflage. So that's really, really cool to be able to see. So let's talk a little bit about the functionality of its lenses and optics, right? So the new VPL-FHZ85, it also uses the interchangeable lens system. I think of our classic, not classic, but our current Z3000 series lenses. Can you talk a little bit about that suite of lenses that's available for this system?
Absolutely. So as I mentioned before, it does come with a standard lens that's 1.3 to 2.2 throw ratio. Mm-hmm. However, there are 6 optional lenses you can take advantage of. Anything from a short throw lens that is the 3003 all the way up to our Z3032 lens. Now, for our Z series of lenses, we have the Z3010, Z3024, and the Z3032, that actually have a wide variety of throw ratios you can take advantage of. For our short throw lenses, as I mentioned before, the 3003 as well as the 3007 are also optional on this particular projector.
That's great. That's great to hear. So, you know, and what's fantastic about that is there might be some of the Sony customers out there and Sony users who already have some of those lenses, and if they're looking to upgrade their fleet, then they may already have some of those lenses that they can use for this particular system. So that's great. That's great to hear. So when we talk about this, the new FHZ85. You know, one of the areas that is important is being able to manage the content coming into the projection systems and display systems in general. And so as we manage that content coming in, I think AV delivery networks, you know, have been presented with challenges, you know, to all AV operators as they try to manage and match all those different inputs coming in, especially trying to manage it coming in and then it going out to different resolution, you know, type devices and whatnot. So what does the VPL-FHZ85, you know, series, what does it help do to reduce that workload for operators?
That's a great question. The FHZ85 series is capable of actually taking in a 4K 60 frames per second video signal and outputting it as WUXGA.
What does that mean? I mean, to be able to bring that system in, and what does that mean to AV operators?
Well, it allows them to actually feed the projector and not downscale it.
Okay.
At any point using any type of third-party device.
Okay.
They can actually just take that source, feed it directly into the projector. The projector will do the downscaling within itself. So there's no need of adding in an additional device before the projector for any type of downscaling in video signals.
I see. I see. So I know that that's been one of the areas that's been kind of a struggle as people are managing, 4K content now, especially as 4K content is becoming so prevalent, and more users are consuming and displaying 4K type materials. And it sounds like from what you said, we should be able to basically take that 4K input and basically send it out to a multi-resolution devices, right? And it really sounds like, if I have, let's say, for example, a projection screen that might be WXGA, like the new FHZ85, and you also might have some 4K displays, flat panels, and true native 4K. And to be able to send that signal out to those flat panels, and they render natively, as well as being able to send that signal, that same 4K signal out, and it goes to the FHZ85, without having to do a lot of work, it renders it. It sounds like it renders it like it's supposed to. I could only imagine, different systems as I think about all the different types of displays that are on those systems, how something like that would be a huge, a huge advantage. And also, I think that the better you're starting off with as far as the higher resolution content, I think ultimately the image quality on the output side is probably looks a little bit better as well. I could
Absolutely, and think of it from a technician's point of view. All they have to run is that HDMI cable directly into the projector. Again, eliminating any third-party downscaling device needed.
Right, gotcha. Okay, well, that's fantastic. That's fantastic to hear. So, in addition to managing that content across extensive AV networks, I think the devices need to be able to communicate in some way. So can you talk to us a little bit about the protocol emulation on this system?
Absolutely. With protocol emulation, it'll allow you to actually take a Sony projector and install it with minimal programming needs. So if you have X manufacturer already installed, you can remove that projector, replace it, put in a Sony projector, and then with minimal programming, have that Sony projector work with your current control system.
That's great. That's great. And of course, anything we can do to help replace other manufacturers' projection systems, that's always a great thing, right? So that's great to hear. So when it comes to content sharing, let's talk about content sharing real quick. As these systems get placed into many different applications, many different spaces, there's going to be users who are going to want to share content, to the device, to be able to wirelessly share or whatnot, and go from user to user, operator to operator. Can you talk to us a little bit about what we've done in the new VPL-FHZ85 to make that easier for people?
Absolutely. We did two things. We provided a USB power port, 5 volts, that will power any type of Android or Apple device. So if you're using Chromecast or you're using Apple AirPlay, you can sit there and use those two devices, connect it up to your projector, and then mirror, whether it's an Apple device, a Mac, or a PC to that device, and your projector will actually output that information.
That's great. That's great to hear. Because again, I think, in this day and age, with people and so many wireless devices, especially with mobile devices and laptops and whatnot in the classrooms and in the corporate setting, to be able to share content that way collaboratively is very advantageous for users. So that's great to hear. This is probably the most, I don't want to say probably, this is the most advanced 3 LCD laser projection system as far as the office of corporate and education type projector that we've ever created and brought to market. And it's taken a lot of hard work from a lot of engineers and planning folks from Japan all the way through the U.S. teams and all around the world that have come together. And also a lot of the voice of our customers have really come through and have been shared with us to let us know what those needs are. That goes into this particular system, and we have taken the best of those ideas and put them into the new VPL-FHZ85. And I think through that engineering and through that technology, we're extremely proud to be able to bring this new mid-range class projector to the market. But this particular type of system can be used in so many different ways. Can you talk to us a little bit real quick about some of those different applications that this thing excels in?
Yes, it could be used in lecture rooms, meeting rooms, higher education, medical, e-simulation, as well as high-capacity seating environments.
That's great. And I know one big area is esports that's really growing. And it seems like, these particular types of system have worked their way into the esports simulation, especially like golf simulators and some other type sports simulators. So that's fantastic to hear. And it's exciting to see our products, especially, our new VPL-FHZ85 going after those type of markets as well. So thank you, Karim, for that. That's exciting to hear. So I think this is kind of brings us to the closing of our time here. And again, we're really excited to bring this to market. The VPL-FHZ85 and its smaller brother, the FHZ80, are going to both be available starting shipping sometime around the January timeframe. And so we really look forward to talking to you more about the VPL-FHZ85. If you have any questions about this particular product, of course, please reach out to your Sony representative, and we'd be more than happy to talk to you further, as well as provide any additional training for this particular product. Thank you very much, and we appreciate you spending the afternoon, and we also appreciate Karim Springer taking the time to meet with us today and to teach us a little bit more about this. With that, we hope to see you soon. Take care. All right. So hopefully, if you're with us, still with us here, you learned a little bit about the all-new FHZ85 series. The benefits go on and on and on, but some of the main takeaways that we want you to be able to kind of really latch onto is the fact that from a high picture quality standpoint, with 8,000 center lumens of brightness, we're really able to perform in those well lit environments. And, when we think of the improved reality creation that we've put into this new system, its ability to handle 4K content and also with the added feature of reality text to really brighten up the text-based content, it is something that we feel that is going to be an extreme value add, to any user. With bright view and intelligent settings with ambiance, and the fact that we can recreate the accurate color and gradation in this particular system is unparalleled. And we also focus on installation flexibility, right? It's the smallest and lightest in class, one of the smallest and lightest in class, with this blend-in design and the wide variety of lenses that are available with the 3000 series lens. We're really excited about the fact that users are able to take advantage of that. Again, that 4K 60p input really being able to help manage the distribution content, the content distribution across all of these multi-resolution devices is hopefully going to help users be able to use and manage these systems better. Also, I think Karim mentioned the auto input select and the auto power on, the data cloning aspect of it to be able to set up this system on a network with many other of these at the same time, the easeability of doing that, that's another key area. And then from a long-term reliability standpoint, with intelligent setting version 3 and that auto filter cleaning and the dust mitigation systems with the sealed laser optics and the auto filter cleaning, these are all things that we put into this into our projectors to continue to add value, making them smarter, lighter, and faster, clearer and brighter, for everyone and when it comes to displaying your content. So we're again, thank you everyone for tuning in today and really learning about this. As I mentioned in the video, these models will be coming to market about January 2022. So here in a few months. And between now and then, we'd love to continue talking with you about these products. Actually, I believe today we should see channel pricing going out to all of our channel partners and everything. So if you have any questions or anything like that, of course, please contact your Sony representative and we'd love to talk to you more about that. Thank you for tuning in and seeing the world debut of the premiere of our unboxing video for the brand new VPL-FHZ85. And with that, I think we'll go ahead and turn it over now to Q&A, where Drew Buttress and myself will be here with you as we answer any questions you may have.
Hey, fantastic. Terrence, welcome, Drew, to the Q&A chat. We have quite a few questions, so people are interested and excited. So let me just jump right into it. There's And this has come from more than one of our attendees. So so I'll just pick the first one that I see here, and that's Rob. He asks about the FHZ70 and 75s, and will they be discontinued, and if so, when?
Okay, great. That's a great question. So obviously the VPL-FHZ85 and the 70 have been an extremely popular mid-range option model for us. And recently, as about 9 months ago, we've increased our range of fixed lens models with the VPL-PHC50 and the PHC60. That's our 5,000 and 6,000 lumen WXGA fixed lens options. And as we entered that new category of fixed lens performance up to 6,000 lumens, I think now we've enhanced the entry level point of our mid-range series, going now from 6,000 ANSI lumens with the FHC80 and the now 7,300 ANSI lumens FHC85. And by reaching up to a higher brightness level, we've now kind of completed that brightness offering in terms of where we can compete. We do believe with the enhanced features of the all-new FHC85 and the FHC80 that we're going to see some improvements versus our current lineup. We haven't been given anything definitive just yet on when the FHC 75 or 70 is going to be discontinued. However, we can say that the new FHC 85 and 80 is definitely going to be our path forward, and we invite everyone to to take a look at that product for any upcoming projects that you may have.
Fantastic. We've got a few questions here from Nick. I'll start with this one. He asks, do any of your projectors, your interchangeable lens projectors, include a basic lens?
I'll take that one. The answer is yes. We have a standard lens. I think Karim mentioned it. What its throw ratio is. That will ship with every projector. Well, every FHZ 85 and 80. But then there's a whole bunch of those optional lenses depending on the installation requirements. And we do have an online lens calculator, and you can figure out based on either the throw distance and the screen size as to which of the lenses are going to best suit that installation. Great.
Thanks, Drew. Question from Javier. He says, you mentioned intelligent settings 3.0. Could you review what the intelligent settings are and what does version 3.0 offer over earlier versions?
Right. So basically, intelligent settings are presets, and you can select one of those presets based on the installation. So as an example, like what's in the menus right now is meeting room, classroom, museum, entertainment, or multiple screens, for color matching. So each setting optimizes the laser output and cooling system for that setting. So as an example, if you were going into a meeting room or classroom, we're going to optimize for clarity first. Whereas in a museum, we would optimize for color accuracy. And so the combination of intelligent settings and now 3.0 bringing in that ambiance feature, with a light sensor, we're optimizing for both the light engine longevity as well as high picture quality.
Great. Kind of a related question. Christina asks about the difference between reality creation and reality text, as well as what is ambiance and what is it doing? So two separate questions.
Okay, so let's start with reality creation is where we are, and there's a lot of science behind it, how we're doing it, and I'm not going to bore people with it, but basically what we're doing is we're enhancing the image quality in video, photos, or graphics. What it really does, what it brings to the end user or whoever's visually watching what's being projected is they're going to see more texture and more depth. Reality text is designed to enhance exactly that, text as well as lines. So with reality text, your spreadsheets, drawings, things like that are just going to appear much sharper on the screen.
So Drew, I'll take the ambient. I think you mentioned
Sure.
the ambient light sensor. The ambient light sensor, it is called the ambiance ambient light sensor, and that actually works in conjunction with Intelligent Settings version 3. And this is kind of that it's kind of functions almost like in a camera, like that full auto mode, where it allows the processing to happen within the projector. It evaluates the lighting level within the projection space, and it will kind of determine basically then how to optimize the laser power level and other various settings within Intelligent Settings to optimize that performance within that space. So that's a new feature actually, and this is the first model to actually have this new ambiance light sensor in our mid-range series, and yeah, so that's kind of what that is.
Great. Thanks, Drew. Thanks, Terrence. Question from Michael. Can this projector mount in portrait mode?
I believe so. There's probably a limit to how much tilt you could put on it, but if you're going strictly portrait mode, yeah, it'll handle that.
Excellent. We have a question and a comment from Corey. So let me pass along the comment first. Corey says the clean design aesthetic is really impressive. Thank you, Corey. Appreciate that feedback. And his question is, what is the actual native and displayed resolution?
Well, I mean, we can take up to 4K 60p as an input, but the native output resolution is going to be WUXGA.
Okay, great. Kevin has another question. He asks, does the downscaling from 4K work through the HD base T input as well?
I don't want to say the wrong thing. I would have to believe so, but you know what? I don't know that for a fact, so I'm going to have to get back to that person.
Okay. So we actually do, just as a reminder to everyone, and when you register, we do capture both your contact information as well as these questions. So if we say we're going to get back to you, as many of you have experienced, we absolutely do after the Tech Tuesday. So Terry asks, is the auto on / auto input select defeatable?
Wow, everybody's trying to stump the chump today. I'm again, that's another one we're going to have to get back to you on. I don't know. I haven't seen, like, our online manual isn't online yet, so I can't go look up what menu options there are for that. I'm not sure why you would want to turn off auto input. The auto on, again, I don't know off the top of my head. I'm going to have to get back to you.
Okay, Terry, we will get back to you on that one. Question from Samantha. She wants to know a little bit more about Bright View and why we consider it an advantage.
I'll take that one, Terrence. So Bright View, it's not just a case of boosting the light output in say a high ambient lighting situation. If you just boost brightness, you tend to see your colors fade. What Bright View is doing is it's also boosting the colors. So in a high ambient light, you don't see that fade. You don't see the effects of that fade.
Okay, and Maria asks, what about the lens shift? Is it better or the same as previous models?
Well, I mean, it's plus 70%. It's better than our competition in that 77,000 lumen class projector. I think it's probably the same as the FHZ85. I think that was 70%.
It is. Yeah, it is. Yep.
Okay. And Drew, this is definitely a question for you, although it might be one that we're not sure without checking back with the factory. So they want to know what happens when if and this question, I apologize, is from GB. They ask, what happens when you exceed tilt, or what are the consequences to the performance of the projector if it does exceed tilt specification?
Well, I think the key, like if this is related to the portrait mode, I mean, the key there is the side tilt as opposed to pointing down. Typically with our projectors, especially with the ventilation on the side, the filter being on the side, you want, there's a certain orientation you kind of have to go with, and it's to optimize the cooling, right? You know, if the laser gets too hot, it wears out quicker, that kind of a thing. So from a performance point of view, in terms of the picture, I don't know that exceeding the tilt recommendation is going to change what the picture looks like, but it could have an adverse effect on the longevity of the laser light source, and primarily because of the cooling.
Got it, Drew. Terrence, question from Felipe asking about the light sensor if the projector is in an enclosure and not directly in the room.
So that light sensor is really designed to analyze the light spectrum within the projection space, right? And so, you know, as I was mentioning earlier, with the ambiance light sensor feature, it's almost like shooting in full auto on a camera, where it kind of does all of the decision making within within the software. And so, if it's inside of an enclosure, I think that light sensor is going to believe it's in a different environment than where you're actually projecting to. So I'm not entirely sure. I understand that, that might be kind of an exceptional case where we're putting it inside of an enclosure, and it's a very valid question. I'd have to go back to our engineers to really kind of sit down with them and have that conversation and talk with them a little bit about that. I'm not quite sure, but I do know that that sensor was designed to really kind of analyze the projection space, right? Where the projector is actually projecting into. So if let's take, for instance, a classroom. If the classroom is, even if it's the projector is at the back of the classroom, if the back of the classroom is a little bit more dimly lit, it actually can understand, based on the placement of where that projector is and in the immediate area, of what that lighting situation looks like, so that it can adjust at the projection screen. But as far as an enclosure, that's a good question. We'll have to kind of come back to you on that one.
Okay, fantastic. And we've got a question from Linda, where she asks about how we stack up against other 7,000 lumen projectors. So projectors in this similar class. Okay,
so I'll take that one. The FHZ85 is smaller. It's 460 by 169 by 495 millimeters. So we're the smallest in that class. Also at 14 kilograms, we're the lightest in the class. We offer those picture enhancement features that we've talked about, like reality creation and reality text. The competition doesn't. And then when you compare their lens shift with their standard lens versus ours, we're ahead of them at that 70% vertical lens shift. And then lastly, no one else is offering auto filter cleaning, so we're ahead of the game on that one.
Okay, and this is actually a suggestion for Terrence and probably Drew to collaborate on. Corey's asked about. Corey is also interested in the reply to the defeating the auto features and the scaling capabilities. Wondering if we'd be able to share with everyone, and just kind of a thought with the number of questions that we've had as a result of this Tech Tuesday webinar. Perhaps a list of FAQs might not be a bad thing for us to follow up with to provide all attendees. So Corey, we will certainly take a look at that for sure. And Corey, as you know, you can always reach out to myself or anyone on the sales support team to engage in further conversation, and we can certainly bring in our headquarters personnel as well. Let me take a quick look for any remaining questions that we may have in the chat. Joey asks, does the device have NDI monitor capability built in? I believe
that one I do know. That's exactly right. The projectors are not NDI capable.
Okay. Nick has a follow-up question asking, is the content sharing module an option or included?
It's not included. Those are actually third-party devices. So whether you want to do Apple TV or you want to do Chromecast, there's a lot of third-party options out there. What I think Karim addressed very well was that, we do have a powered USB port, and that's to provide power to the device, and then that's plugged into one of the HDMI inputs.
Okay, and one last question from Alicia, and she asks, given the brightness of this projector, what's the targeted room size or screen size?
Drew, I'll take that.
Sure.
This particular projector really kind of goes after that 50-seat type environment, where you're projecting on screens. I believe up to about 150 inches or so. That's really kind of where it's designed, to perform. And on a 150-inch screen at 8,000 lumens, that's equivalent to about 391 nits on screen. So we're really kind of even matching almost flat panel display type brightness, with that level of performance.
Fantastic. Thanks, Terrence. All right. It looks like we are, congratulations. We've made it through all the questions here in the chat panel. I wish to thank everyone who has submitted a question here. And as I said before, we will, hold on. One that popped up, the last one from Nick. So Nick asks, do any of these projectors have a trigger for screen control so that when powering the projector up will cause the screen to come up or down as you power the projector on and off?
Well, that sounds like a GPIO type question. I got to be honest, I don't have an answer right now. I'll have to get back to you.
Okay, Nick, that's one that we will put on the follow-up list. And I see that we have included, as a reminder, quite a few of the links mentioned here in this webinar into the chat for everyone to take a look at before you leave, as well as some information about some upcoming activities. So now with that, we've made it through every single question. And once again, I thank everyone who participated. Thank you all for joining us. Congratulations to Terrence, Drew, and Karim on an outstanding presentation. As I always say, that we can't be successful without all of you. And if you have any feedback or have any topics that you'd like to see in the future, by all means, please get with us through the QR code here or via your local Sony representative. And with that, I'll remind everyone to join us next Tuesday, the 26th of October, for another in our RV on AV panel discussions with Sony's Vice President of B2B Solutions, Rich Ventura, where he'll be joined by a panel of AV experts for a discussion of how tech companies are working together to deliver truly complete solutions. So with that, I wish everyone a great rest of the day, a productive week. Stay safe, enjoy this fall weather, and we'll see you back here next week.